Hey guys, welcome back to part number 7 of my Harrier build. Final part, so we're going to finish off doing the weapons, got a couple of Mavericks, a couple of Sidewinders, and then we'll do a final reveal. Really kind of happy how this one turned out. I think it's one of my best. All the planes I've made, aircraft I made in the past, when I look at this one, it really makes me kind of feel good. I think it turned out really good in the end. So hopefully you enjoy this one too, and let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, working on the weapons, gonna keep it simple. 2 Sidewinders and 2 Mavericks is what we've got going on. Now, I searched through my box and I thought I've lost the color callouts. Like color callouts, decal placements for the weapons. Normally Trumpeter's a nice big sheet, color all the weapons and stuff. So I thought maybe I'll throw it away. So then I went online, pulled up the instructions and looked at the kit from an online vendor and didn't have it either. So then I went back and did a review of this a few weeks ago. So I looked at my review when I opened the box, and it wasn't in my box. So what I've come to the conclusion was that I don't think any of these kits, this variant, the Night Attack 2, has the weapon callouts in the box. Some kind of manufacturing issue, I guess. So what I did was I looked up the went to ScaleMates and looked up the Night Attack 1 version of this aircraft. Actually, no, I think maybe I looked at the RAF GR7 one. But anyway, I looked at one of the other 32nd scale Trumpeter kits, and they all come with the same weapons in each kit. And I did find the color callout in the instructions online. So I took a screenshot. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now, if I remember. So this is what, if you guys building this one, this is the correct color callouts, and also the decals are identical in all the kits too, this sheet. So if it says number 14 for the laser, it should be on this sheet number 14 too. So that's kind of where we're at with that one. So again, I did a little research, and if you check back the video, pause it, whatever, they're the colors we need. So basically these two are going to be white. This is going to be like a light gray kind of color, as always with these Sidewinders. Built tons of these recently. Normally what I do is I normally paint the bands on first. So if it's yellow, for example, I'll spray yellow, mask it up, and then paint the overall color over the top of it. I need to look at this one. I don't think I can do it because of what placement with the fins and stuff. I think I'd have to easily just use a decal, but I'll check that out. If I can, I'll just I'll just paint it first and run a little bit of masking tape, about 1 mil, 2 mil wide, whatever thickness, around it. And then when you take that masking tape off at the very end, you're left with that perfect band. It's way better than using these kind of tricky decals and trying to get them to go around the curve surface and stuff. So again, let me look at the instructions a little bit more and I'll figure that one out, and I'll come back and let you guys know where I'm at. So I'll get these painted up. We're looking in good shape, and also the heads for the Mavericks. I'm just gonna frost them with some smoke. So I'm spraying the inside with some Tamiya smoke, and then once he's painted at the very end, we'll stick the fronts on. Cool. So that's the game plan. So let me go ahead and start working on these. Okay, so I made a start painting these. So I did do what I mentioned earlier. So I did paint the red and yellow on this guy first. So I sprayed it red, you can see there. Then put some masking tape around it, and then I'm going to spray over the main color. So this is going to be like a light gray on this one, with a gunmetal top front. These guys are all white. And again, the red band, sprayed red, masked it up, sprayed yellow, masked it up. And I use a little off-white, so I don't like to use bright white, so this is white mixed a little bit of buff, just kind of knock it off a shade. Now, how I kind of mask these guys, super easy. So to get your Tamiya masking tape, this is 6 mil. Also do a piece bigger strip from this. I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm doing. Put it on my bench. Oh. Put it on my cutting mat, should I say, in kind of straight line. And what I do is I just take a metal ruler and a sharp knife and just kind of eyeball it. So these are probably about 1.5 mil, 2 mil. So maybe stripes like that wide. And what I do is run my knife along. And there you go, there's a thin piece of tape, perfect to mask. So then what you do is, I'm going to do it down here where it's not painted. Obviously just say we want to paint a stripe here, you spray red, and then say that red right here, so put it over the red, and just wrap it around like that. And then you spray your grey over the top, and then when you take this off, you're left with a red, sound like Jonathan Ross, red stripe once you take this off, or yellow, whatever color stripe it is. So spray it down first. I'm not going to prime these guys. Let's say just a little bit of mask tape, cut it down to what you need, Let's say this is for about 1.5 mils. Just kind of eyeball it and then just wrap it around like that, and you're good to go. So yeah, making good progress. So these are almost done. I mean, I just let these dry, and I got to do the smoke on the front, and the last bit at the front here, because it has some smoke, just kind of tint it. These obviously a lot more work to do. Got to paint the back side, back half of the these guys. Like I say, I really like grey, and the front's going to be that gunmetal kind of colour. So there we go. Just a quick update where I'm at with these weapons. Oh, it's falling off. Okay, it's dry. And yeah, so let these dry, finish painting these, and then we'll start decaling them. Okay, we're all painted up and looking good. Really liking how the sidewinders turned out. And these guys. It sounds like my dishwasher's starting to fire up in the background too, so I apologize for that. So this one I haven't taken off. So all we have to do now is, so obviously painted the yellow and red, put the masking tape over and sprayed the white over the top. So now we're just going to take the masking tape off. Oop. And where are we? Take it off and look, you get the perfect yellow band. It's way better than just falling around the stupid decals, or some people use like rubber O-rings, all that kind of stuff. For me, this is just the easiest way of doing it. Just a little bit of tape over the top, and as I'm feeding this off, there you go, there's a red one at the back. As easy as that. So painting them, and it looks way better, I think. So we're all painted up, ready to go, put them in shot. So painted light grey, my own mix, basically white with a touch of grey for the AIM 9L sidewinders. The front was painted with gunmetal LP19. And yeah, painted the tips and then the end of the fins there with just a bit of AK, not AK Vallejo, try and find it here, it's steel. Just brushed, hand brushed, hand painted. And yeah, so we're all good to go. Really liking how these are looking. So now we're going to head and put the decals on. For this kind of stuff, because we're doing nothing major, we're just going to put on the a few little labels here and there to sign decals. I'm not going to bother with any clear coat or any kind of setting solutions. I'm just going to slap the decal straight on, then after that we'll clear coat it. So got my decal sheet here. As I mentioned earlier, got no reference sheet, so I'm just going to use my sheet from the different kit, which I put on the screen earlier in the video. And I'm going to follow that on, get these decals put on, and then we're good to go. Almost done with this build. Just got to finish these guys off, attach the pylons, and get them on a jet, and we're finished with the build. So, all right, cool. Let me get decaling. All right, so we've got these decaled up, and we added the pylons. Okay, few little decals, no problem at all. Although using my decal sheet, I have looks like you only have decals down one side of the sidewinder. Which I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but look at the sheet. That's all we kind of have on there, enough for one side. So again, not sure that's 100% accurate, but anyway, the issue I had with the pylons. So, show you kind of what's going on here. So the Mavericks here, you got a pylon. It basically doesn't show ambiguous, doesn't show where it goes on here. I looked for the instructions, doesn't really help anywhere in here at all. So what you need to do is, what I did was, there's pegs on the bottom, two pegs at the bottom and one at the back. I'm assuming with these are standard for other kits, they kind of just slot right on, but there's no holes in the top of these. On top of the Mavericks, there's no holes. So I just had to cut the pegs off, the one at the back and the two at the top, and just still super glue this on top, like down the middle like that. Again, I'm not sure that's totally accurate, but there's nowhere for the pegs to go. So that's a little error on that one. So I got those made up, no problem at all, those two. Same with the sidewinders. There's pegs and there's gaps here where the slots go to attach the rail, but the pegs don't line up with the rails. They're different widths. So again, I think they screwed up at the wrong parts in the box, or again, interchangeable, using parts from other aircraft, that kind of stuff. So what I had to do is, unfortunately got little gaps at the top here, it is what it is. So I just, again, cut those two pegs off, because they're nowhere near what it's supposed to be, and just super glued it the best I could. So I figured I went towards the back, and again, not sure if that's accurate, but a little bit of super glue down on, and we're good to go. So what's going to mean is, bringing the aircraft across, we've got pegs on center here where it's just slot on, but again we have no holes on top of the pylon. So what I'm guessing is I'm just going to snip the middle one and then super glue it on. Oh, I'll show you. See there's like, where are we at? Here, like there's like a peg in the middle. which should slot in like the fuel tanks, but there's no holes on top of the rails. Again, there's a little bit of issue there. So I'm just going to have to cut the middle one. I'm just going to cut down so it's flush with the two on the side, and then we just have to super glue those on the best we can, like that somehow. But before we do get ahead of ourselves, I just want to give this a quick clear coat to seal in the decals and also, you know, kind of make it all uniformed. So I'm going to do a light coat and flat, but you can probably do satin. With weapons, they're not normally so totally flat. They're normally a lot of sheen to them. So I'm just going to go light misting of XF86. Not going to hose it on, and then it'll give me that kind of like the aircraft here, give me like a satin kind of look, flat to satin kind of look. So. And also the pylons will match the, you know, the rest of the stuff on the aircraft too. So let me go ahead, well, firstly put this guy down before I drop it. There we go. And go ahead and clear coat all these guys. Then I'm going to glue them onto super glue them onto the pylons on the aircraft, and we're done. So let me do that. Go ahead to take care of that, and when we come back, I'll ready for a final reveal.
So there we are. We're done. Really happy how this one turned out. It's pride in place in my collection, and it's one of those kits where I just look at it and just makes me smile, and just really kind of proud of myself, because it's not a town-made kit. It didn't go together well. As you saw through its process, last 7 parts, it took a lot of work to get it together. It's not particularly difficult work. It's just down and dirty, getting, you know, filling and sanding and just old school modeling stuff. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily to beginner, because it was a lot of work. I think adding an Ares cockpit obviously complicated things as well. If you got some, you probably need some a little bit more advanced skills to be able to do this one justice. I think just get rid of the seam lines and stuff and get this thing put together. It was a little bit of problem solving needed, but now it's done. I'm really happy. I was worried after the paint stage, and you guys might be too, when you saw, I think maybe in part 4 or 5, when I got paint on, it kind of looked like a toy. It was a big plastic toy. And you probably thought, oh my God, what's he doing? So I thought the same. So I put it to the side for about a month while I kind of figured out a plan. And then I came back and, between doing another build, I came back and tackled it, and I repainted it and got it weathered up. And now it looks not like a toy, it looks like a model. So the challenge of the kit was, the fit problems. Not very well detailed either. Not much in the way of surface detail and that kind of stuff. That's why I kind of went to town with weathering, because I think now with the weathering, you're right, it doesn't make a difference. You don't see the lack of rivets, that kind of stuff. You have to have the canopy closed on this one. So if I was to do this again, I probably wouldn't use the Ares cockpit set. The irony of this actually is the one piece I did replace, actually one bit of detail. The cockpit actually looks not bad in the kit. The additional panel looks really nice. I'd probably just get a resin seat if I was going to do this again. If you probably remember, if you don't remember or not, I actually dropped this. So I think I got a primer on, I dropped it pretty heavily, and it busted the wing open. It needed a lot of repair work done to it. The front canopy came off and busted that, and had to, wouldn't go back on again. So that's a lot of filling and sanding around the canopy. So it's not as neat as I'd like it to be, but it's better to have it like that than not at all. Again, I had to like work on the fly there. So I managed to get it fixed up, painted, and so that challenge added to it. But yeah, it looks really good. The Flying Leatherneck's, so 2 aftermarket I used. I used the resin cockpit from Ares, and I used the Flying Leatherneck's vinyl decal. That one I think that looks really good. It went down no problem at all. But the problem is, it's marked on the box for a Trumpeter kit. So I'm not sure if each Trumpeter Harrier kit has a different canopy or not, but the deck cord molded doesn't match what the vinyl is. And you can't even stretch it. It's a different shape. It's way too narrow. It's just not the same. So if you look close, like from like 3-4 inches away, you can see the molded plastic underneath it doesn't match. But from like this distance, from a foot away on the shelf, you can't tell. It looks really good, the white vinyl. Just if you're thinking about building this, just bear in mind the vinyl deck cord doesn't match. I guess the way around it would be to sand the inside of the canopy, get rid of all that deck cord, and then polish it up and stuff. But sanding and working inside the canopy, removing the deck cord, just seems way too risky and too much work for me. So that's what we did. So went with that. We used Maverick, I'm not sure it's the right loadout, did a couple of Sidewinders, a couple of Mavericks, and good to go. So I went to Hobby Lobby. I was getting one of those cheap $2.99 bases, the cheap kind of crappy wood. I'm going to paint it up and stuff. And then I thought to myself, let's kind of add an accent, like maybe like a challenge coin or like a marine core kind of, maybe like a wood kind of logo of the Marine Corps. Maybe somebody does like a wood kind of outline of the globe and stuff, and I kind of attach that to it and paint it. So I went to a place called Woodcraft, which is here in the US. It's kind of like a, I think it's like a chain wood kind of store. It sells like wood tools, like I don't know, like planes and saws, that kind of stuff. In the back corner, they have all this wood. So they have this beautiful wood, like strips, and this one was like 10 inches wide and maybe about 8 foot tall. I asked them, I was like, do you guys cut them? They said, yeah, no problem at all. So they know what you need. So I said, well, I cut it 12 inches. So this is 10 wide. So can you cut me a 12-inch strip? So they cut me 12 inches, and it cost me about $8. And this is solid. I don't know what kind of wood it is, but it's absolutely solid wood. It weighs about 10 pounds just for this one little piece. It looks really nice. I thought I like the color of it too. So plain gray aircraft, I wanted something kind of pop a little bit. So I got this like red kind of wood, and I got a patch. So I looked on Amazon, looked on eBay. In the end, I went to Etsy, and there's a guy on there who sells patches, and they were like, I want to say like maybe $3.50 shipped, free shipping. So I ordered it on I ordered it on Friday, and I got it on like the Tuesday, so it came really quickly. So I got this cool Marine Corps patch, and I just put a bit of Mod Podge, just glued it on there, just to kind of give it a little bit of accent. So obviously the Marine Corps jet and under the Marine Corps patch. So yeah, so that's really it. So yeah, not very much to talk about. It turned out really good in the end. Really happy how it turned out. Like I said, a few little niggles here and there. The wheel wells have really poor detail, but now it's glued on the base. You don't see any wheel wells, so who cares? The rubber tires. Who'd known? Like all these years, I always throw rubber tires away and use resin ones. Now I'm a convert. I think rubber tires look great, fantastic. I think they're really good. So moving forward, I need to use more rubber tires, I guess, which come in the kit, which just saves me money too. So I need to buy resin aftermarket. But yeah, it's really happy how this one turned out. Well, something a little bit different. Harrier is a very unique kind of aircraft in terms, is vertical takeoff and all that kind of stuff, and the way it looks. And yeah, really happy with this one. So there we go, that one finished. Really enjoyed this last few months, been a lot of work, but definitely looking forward to my next build. Hope you like this one. If so, please consider subscribing. And every Friday I try to put up a new build series or new build video. Every Friday, and Tuesdays I try to do reviews or some other kind of video on a Tuesday. What I do as always, I'll end with some photographs I took outside in natural daylight so you can get a better idea of how it looks. So until next time, have a good one. Bye.